Hey everyone, it's Sunflower Spirit here, and I'm here to do another collective reading. Today I'm going to do a collective reading in the full moon in Aquarius, which happens on August 19th at about, well, in my time it's about noon, 12:30, something like that. Um, but it could be different depending on where you are in the world. So let's see what the energies are for this full moon. We still have Mercury in retrograde. So still have kind of some potent energies. And we're still in the sign of Leo. So let's see. What do we have for the full moon in Aquarius for everyone? What kind of energies are coming in this week? We have the Queen of Cups. So needing to do some self-care, balancing yourself out, making sure you're getting your needs met too, as well as everyone else's, making sure that you're um, getting your needs met. What else do we have for everyone for this week for the full moon in Aquarius? We have the Four of Swords. So again, this is about self-care again. So heavy on the self-care. So just really make sure that like whatever it is you're doing, you're not overdoing it. Because both of these cards generally represent self-care for me. So make sure that you're taking time to rest. Make sure that you, if you need to talk to somebody, talk to your therapist, your friends, your whoever it is that you debrief with regularly. Getting self-care. I see someone like sipping wine or something like that. Taking a nap, something like that. What else do we have for this week for the full moon in Aquarius, please? We have Nine of Cups. So wish fulfillment coming in, something that you want. This is something that you have kind of transformed. Something's transforming right now. And then we have strength. So again, needing to balance that out, needing to balance yourself out. Strength is about having courage, it's about being vulnerable. So there's some sort of transformation where you're coming out of a kind of maybe a resting period. You need to move to a more like active, yeah, maybe active period where things, so that you can get what you want. I feel like clarity is coming. I do feel like clarity is coming, but it's about balancing everything out once again. What else do we have for everyone for this full moon in Aquarius energy, please? What else do we have for everyone for this full moon in Aquarius? We have the Chariot. So things moving forward pretty quickly. Again, I'm getting a lot of like dualistic energy, which Aquarius is going to be dualistic energy because it's a air sign. And because we're in Mercury in retrograde, and there's so much going on. There's lots of other things going on. There's like something happening Taurus and Uranus, I think, and so there could be some like harsher energies to deal with. So that's why they're saying just make sure you're getting your self care. But I'm also seeing that like things are going to be moving pretty quickly. You need to like really have courage with something, courage with some sort of transformation. And you need to kind of like figure out what your values are. I feel like you have been figuring out what your values are, or you should have been if you weren't. You need to figure out what your values are so you can move in that direction. What else for everyone, please? We have Six of Wands. So this is success, successful completion. A lot of, I mean, I'm getting a lot of Leo energy. We are in Leo season, but I have like the sun, and then the strength card is a Leo card generally. So I'm getting like a lot of like you're getting clarity, things are feeling pretty good, you're feeling pretty happy, pretty maybe like at peace. You could be feeling at peace. You're just getting a lot of clarity, having a lot of abundance coming your way, just feeling, just like really feeling good. And this is kind of like an energy that is going to be kind of, it's going to be conflicting for you because you're going to watch all this crazy stuff on the news. You're going to watch all this stuff happening in this 3D world, but this is like that 5D energy where we're moving to that 5D. So this is like the energy of like you it's like you're watching all this stuff and you're like, oh my god, this is crazy. But you're like, oh well, I'm not going to let it ruin my day. It's just some of this like 3D game or this 3D matrix. You know what I mean? So this is kind of like the energy that the collective is moving in general. Not necessarily particularly for this full moon, but I could see how this full moon could kind of like boost that energy. So that's kind of what I'm seeing here with all this clarity and abundance and just this like general feeling of warmth, feeling of like just good. Like people just feel good. And it's gonna feel conflicting though, right? Because you're gonna be watching the news, or if you do that, I don't do that anymore. But if you do, I mean, I don't live under a rock either, so you have to, balance it out. What did I say? Self-care, balancing out, balance out, balance out. Where are your values? Yeah, this is like why you're gonna find your values. Do you want to watch the news and get sucked into like the 3D matrix, the 3D game, which is probably gonna pull your energy down? It's going to use a lot of your energy and it's not going to really do anything productive for you, or you can just look at it as an observation. Huh, that's interesting. That seems like a fictional book, but okay, I'm just gonna sit back with my popcorn and watch this. What else for everyone for this full moon in Aquarius, please? We have. Sorry, they dropped on the floor. Um, we have the Lovers, which is again, this is actually Aquarius energy, and then Five of Swords, which is also Aquarius energy. So, yeah, this is like that conflict that I was telling you about. You could either be in conflict or you could take this observational perspective. The Lovers is calling you to make some sort of choice, and that's kind of like the choice that I was seeing here is like, you can sit in this abundance, you can transform yourself, you can have this take this higher perspective. Do you see how this guy's sitting high on his lotus flower? The lotus is a flower that like has to come up through the mud before you can tell that it's a flower. So it's really symbolic of that like dark night of the soul process or going through some shit to get to the light kind of thing. Um so that's why that, and it's also symbolic of transformation because it has to go through all this whole process, this really dark scary process to get out to the light, and then once it gets out to the light people are like, "Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful," but they don't take into account what it had gone through to get to that beauty. And so that's kind of symbolic of that like spiritual journey. um so this is really good. I like this. We have temperance on the back, which I'm not surprised we're gonna end on another spiritual balancing out card. So this is part of your spiritual journey. This is your spiritual journey. This is the spiritual journey. This is what people are being called to do right now. Like I said, this is a collective message that has been it's been going on before I did this reading. It's still going to continue to go on. I feel like this moon is just going to amplify it. This full moon in Aquarius is kind of amplifying like where do you want to go with your life right now? How do you want this to be? Are you going to sit in this 5D energy that you're having the opportunity to, or are you going to stay in the 3D, in the game of it, in the matrix of it, um, with everything? And that's totally just dependent on who you are and where you're at in your journey, on your spiritual journey. I've the thing about it is that this whole like 3D kind of like crumbling that we're seeing with different countries in the world and all this kind of crazy stuff that's going on is part of that like raising the vibration, raising the frequency of the entire planet to the 5D. But if that does not make any sense to you, don't worry about it. Just take what resonates for you. This is like a collective phenomenon that has been happening for a while. It's been a lot of build up towards this. We've been building up to this for quite some time, but I think with this Age of Aquarius, we're entering the Age of Aquarius, and this is a Aquarius full moon. We're gonna see a lot more of this and a lot more of this individualized, basically like healing kind of stuff going on. So that is very beautiful. I love this for you guys. Is there anything else I can add to this? Just be mindful, like I said, of your self-care and be mindful of like where your thoughts are taking you. So when I talk about where your thoughts are taking you, that's kind of like having the courage to recognize when something isn't for you. Like you know how Brene Brown says, you don't have to pick up the crap and like hold it close to your heart. You just step over it. You just say, "Oh, that's interesting," and you step over it. Not my problem, Bob. Move it along. You know. So This is kind of what I'm getting for you. This, of course, has to deal with your value system. Really going to have to figure out where your value system is to make these kinds of decisions. But you do have a decision. They're asking you to make that decision with your heart, and that's going to give you the most fulfillment. That's going to be the fulfillment that transforms you, that transforms the situation. Um, they're saying there's a lot of potential for success with this energy, for successful completions of cycles, for abundance, for praise, even um, for to get noticed, to have people being noticing you and stuff like that. And balancing out yourself on the spiritual journey, making sure that you're tuning in to what you need, what your inner child needs, making sure that you're aligning yourself with your chakras. We can see that with the rainbow here, aligning yourself with your chakras, um, and that you are having the courage to move forward without giving in to those anxious thoughts, to that anxiety or that overwhelm. Just kind of sit back and observe. That's what they're calling you to do. This is like so cool because I didn't know if this was ever going to come out in one of my readings, but it's awesome that it is because I've been on this journey myself. So this is really cool. I hope this resonates for you guys. I think this is amazing. I think it's awesome. I hope it was helpful for you, and I hope you guys have a wonderful full moon in Aquarius. Thanks for stopping by.